So we are going to make some pancakes for St. Patrick's Day, a sweet little fun treat in the morning that everybody likes. So let's get started. See, I'm going to do this in a different way this time. So I'm going to do a half a cup buttermilk, a half cup water, 1 egg, and then 1 cup flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and then I'm gonna have some green sprinkles are optional, and also some green food dye gel. Okay, let's get started. We are going to add 1 cup flour. I'm going to add the sugar. I'm going to add baking powder, baking soda, salt. I'm going to mix that around. Okay, and then we're going to add the water and buttermilk together, and then to that we will add the gel dye.
It's 7 o'clock.
Now I'm just eyeballing this, so just add however much you think is a good amount, but you want to maybe add a little bit extra just to get that pop of color coming through. So we do want to add a little bit more. So altogether, I think I've added maybe a half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit less. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more. Hard to tell, this might be closer to about half a teaspoon. I'm going to add the buttermilk to the flour. All of that in there. And then we are going to add our egg, and to that we are going to add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then the melted butter. And I like to save this and use a brush on the griddle with it. So I'm going to set that aside and not in the sink. Okay, and you don't have to thoroughly mix it. There'll be some lumps, but mix it fairly well. And it's up to you on how thick of a batter you like. I actually like a runnier batter. I feel like it makes a flatter, fluffier pancake, but I think everybody is different. I feel it's pretty good, but we're going to let it rest. So I might add just a little smidge of water, because for me it kind of thickens up a little bit when it gets a little bit of air in it. So I'd rather do it now than do it after it's gotten the water in, or sorry, gotten the air in it, and then I whisk in some extra water. I'll still do it sometimes, but you want it to be light and fluffy, so you're ruining it when you whisk it around. We are going to let it rise while we heat up the griddle. Okay, we are going to turn on the griddle, and we're going to turn it fairly high. So I'm going to turn it up as high as it can get and let it heat up. This should be fairly hot. Going to add that butter. It's not going to quite be enough, but I'm going to add a little pat of butter. Now everyone's different, and it might be your altitude where you live, but sometimes when I add the batter and it's too thick, it doesn't really spread out very nice. And I like it to spread out and not be piled up super high. I mean, I like a fluffy one, but I want it to create the fluffiness from the air. And we want to cook it until these little bubbles start to form and not close. Now's a good time to start to clean up the mess that you made earlier, and maybe start to set the table. And you can adjust the temperature if you feel it's too high, getting too dark too fast, which I might do.